Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So quickly we'll continue with our tutorial. Now we have everything that we need all set. So I'm just going to head on to the payment service. Now I'm going to, so first we don't need this tool. We don't need the account because everything about the account is now handled in the account service. So I'm going to delete this tool and let us just see. It's throwing an an error. So I'm going to take this off. Yeah, we don't need this. Delete the entire thing. We don't need the account controller in the payment service. Now, if you check the payment service implementation, we don't need this. However, there are some places where we've used it, so I'm just going to quickly comment them out for now. Where else? Comment this out and comment this out. So once we update our payment service, we're going to use the updated account service. So now everything looks okay. Let's see. Now let us just quickly go to the account service and do the same. In the controller, I'm going to delete the payment controller. We don't need the payment controller in the account service. And here quickly, we don't need the payment service in the account service. Delete. Okay, now everything looks okay. Now let us go back to the payment service. Now here I'm going to create a new Java class and I'm going to call it account service web client. You can call it web client from, but I rather call it account service web client. And just, if you want, you can put it in a different package, but I'll just leave it in the same package. We can always update it later if we want. Now I'm going to put this here and just annotate this with configuration. Spelling there. Configuration. Let's import that configuration. Good. Now, next thing, I'm going to create another class and call it accounts. It's actually an interface I want to create. So I'm going to create another interface and say account service. This is where we define our HTTP interface methods. Account service. Now, that's good. So I'm just going to annotate this with HttpExchange. HttpExchange, and we can import HttpExchange. Now, next thing is let us go back to our documentation and you know what? I'm just going to let's copy the web client one first. So I'm going to copy this and go to Spring Tool Suite. I'm going to say public account service. Now, because I want to return an instance of the account, a bin of the account service. So let's say account service and put that here. I missed the W. I think I didn't copy that. Now, okay. Now I'm just going to replace this and say http://localhost 9091. Where's the account service? Account service is on 1993. That's where we put it, if you remember from the last tutorial. So now it's not letting me. Let's just copy this account service and replace this one. Make sure everything is looking okay, and then just put a return here. Annotate this with @beans. Import beans. Now, if we try to import this, it's not going to work. So what we need to do is we need to import the dependency for webflux. With webflux dependency, we can get this web client. Now, if you notice, if you remember from the documentation of WebClient, it says Spring Web Flux include a client to perform HTTP requests with WebClient. So we need to get the Web Flux dependency. So just go to Spring Initializer, add dependency, and say Web Flux. Yeah, this one. Now, if you explore that and you see the Web Flux dependency, just copy this one, close, and head back to Spring Tool Suite. Open our pom.xml, right? And then just right at the top there. I like to put mine at the top. You can put yours at the bottom if you want. So now if we try to import this, it should bring that up. Okay, still not. Let's just go back and do our Maven update project. Great. So now if we come back here and say import, you see it comes up now, WebClient and WebClient adapter. And let's do that again. And HTTP service proxy factory, import this. Now that is our account service setup. So now what we need to do is go to our account service. Now we can let's go back to the documentation. It's easier to just use the stuffs from here. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to edit it anyways, but it saves me some time. It's not always the case, but this time around, yeah. Copy this and import this exchange. So now I want to say account and just say account number. I can get rid of this one, right? So I'm going to say like return me an account DTO and say update path variable. Let's import the path variable. Now we can import the account DTO because we still need the account DTO to in our payment service here. So I can say string and just say account number. Okay, now let's go further to do another one. So post exchange and we say account slash update, and then we say public. It's public anyways. Let's just put public, but it's an interface, public interface. So can say public void, because we just want to update. Public void. We can say now. So this is find. This is to find the account. With the account number, we find the account and return the account DTO. So here we say public void update, and then we say request body. Let's just say account service DTO. I know we don't have that, but we'll create that shortly. So say account service DTO. There we go. So post exchange, let us import the post exchange and import the request body. So let's create this account service DTO. Create account service DTO, create this class, create it in the, I don't want to create it in the service, I want to create it in the DTO. Now save that and just do like at components, because we're going to be setting this method, setting some of the methods here soon. Now where am I going to use this? In the payment service implementation. So remember from here we commented some of these things out. So if we go to, let's just say auto wired, and private account service DTO, account service DTO, and import the account service DTO. And then also let us auto-wire the account service. Auto-wire the account service, right? Okay, so here in place of this, I'm just going to say account service, now update account balance. You know what, I'm just going to go to the account service and do this, say update account balance. So say find accounts, right? So if I come back here, so update account balance. Now for us to update account balance, we need to pass the payment and the credit, but in order for us to do this now, we can just say account service DTO dot set. Oh, we've not created the setter functions. Okay, let us go here. Let's go in the account service DTO. We needed to create this. I'm just going to put this first and update it. Say private oops, and say private payment and payment. Great. Now let us import this payment. Import. Okay. Do this source and getters and setters. Generate getters and setters. Select all and generate. Okay. Just leave that space. Oh, just take it off. Okay. Now, so if we come back to the payment service, so here I can say DTO dot set payments and call it payments. Great. And if I come here next and say accounts, you know what, I'm just going to copy this, saves me some time, dot set ops, and then this was a credit operation, so we say arithmetic operation dot credit. Now having set this, so we can just say update account balance and pass this here, right? Okay, that's for the credit ops. And let us do, now we can say, so here we update the account balance, and now we just say account service dot find the account. Now let's see why it's not picking it up. We need string account number path variable. Okay, so now we are returning an account DTO, right? So if we go here, we need an account DTO because that's what it returns. And actually we don't really need this because it's just going to find the account and it's not returning anything, so we don't need this. So get this one off. Now let us go to the debit ops, put this back. I'm just going to get rid of this account because we have it globally at the top. So we say DTO and clear this. Yeah, so now we have our account DTO, and next let's put this, say 1 2 3. So here we are going to say this is debit, and let us go ahead and copy the first one we used in the credit ops here. So I just did a Control Z and Control Z and Control Shift Z just to get back to where I was. I didn't do any change now, just in case you're wondering. So here we've set the payment, and then this will be debit. So we can pass this to our update account balance method. Nice. So we can see that. So here, what are we doing here? We're going to find the accounts balance, It's just finding the account. Now we just say DTO, and we don't need this anymore because we're not, just get rid of it. We are not returning anything, so we don't need that. Okay, so seems like that is our payment service sorted. Now let us quickly go to the account service and to receive these methods.